Yeah, g'day, Bush Camping Tools here. Well, I thought I'd talk briefly about D2 steel knives and why I still love D2. Now, D2, of course, has been around for a long, long time. Obviously, it came out of the milling industry, where it's used extensively in all forms of D2, various different types of D2 used in milling tools because of its robustness, its ability to stay sharp, its relatively cheapness, there's that word, or inexpensiveness for tooling materials. But yeah, it's tough. It can take a edge and hold an edge. And then when it went into knives, it just took the knife, world by storm kind of thing. And then other people started saying as years went by, D2's no good. There's other better knife steels out there, super steels, whatever. Well, D2, like 440C, is still a good knife steel, and now I'm going to tell you why it is. Right, first of all, if you're like me, I'm using my knives for everything from cutting up acidic things in the kitchen maybe, to outdoors, all sorts of stuff with the knife blade. I don't care because the knife is there to be cutting and to be used for cutting, used all the time. And there's enough chromium. Like D2 is not a stainless steel, registered as a stainless steel. I feel there's enough chromium in there to prevent any kind of rusting or excessive rust, that's for sure, even if you're careless with the knife. Now, sometimes I don't get to super duper clean my knives if I'm out and about. Obviously if you're inside the house or around the house, you can do that. But if you're out and about, maybe fresh water, fresh clean water is a bit of a commodity. So, or just difficult to get, whatever words you want to use, and you may not get to clean it properly. You may just be able to wipe it down, but not with fresh water. And so if you're leaving chloride ions or any other things that can be corrosive on the steel, I find it's not too bad, with that. Right, this happens to be one of WorkTuffGear. I've got lots of D2 knives, and I'll show you some others in a bit, but this just happens to be, I grabbed one of WorkTuffGear's from Victor over at WorkTuffGear, one of his earlier models that he was making in D2 tool steel. A beautiful drop point, nice choil on there, very, very comfortable grip on this thing. Not too thick, just the right, I can do this. This is really nice. I can even do this. You see the handle there? It's not, my hand is not falling off the back of the knife, so I can, for my size hand, that's comfortable. I'm not like this. Or I can do this, or I can do this with my hand. So it's a comfortable, for me it's a very comfortable blade and an easily manageable blade. What I like about D2 is it does have the ability to stay sharp for a long time, I believe anyway. Obviously this is not a test cutting up a pineapple. You do need a sharp knife, but when I've used D2 blades out and about, cutting up mushrooms in the wild, gathering mushrooms, where invariably you're chopping into the dirt sometimes, you can't help that. And that same knife, I don't have a specific mushroom knife. It's good if you can, but I don't. I'm usually using the same knife to cut up my food later on around the camp or picnic or whatever. And yeah, it's important that I don't want us to be spending time outdoors sharpening knives all the time. Hey, presto, done. Okay, we've got a few little bits just there. You've seen me cut up pineapples before. That's my way. Actually, it's not my way. It's done all over Southeast Asia, but my dad showed me how to do this years ago. Cut up a pineapple like this. That's how we eat pineapples in the house, and we still do. Got a few pines growing out the back of the place. Yeah, although this one's a shop bought one. It's a nice comfortable knife, no problems there in doing that. Alright, D2 steel blade. You know, I could leave that juice on there for a while, I think, and I'll just come back to it and show you the knife in a little while. Let that sit there for 10 minutes and we'll have a look at it in 10 minutes time and see what it looks like. Okay, so just recognize the time now, it's about 20 past. Come back in 10 minutes. We'll just come back to that in about 5 minutes now and see that I haven't taken any of that off. Lots of juice all over the blade, very acidic. Okay, how many minutes is that? That's, well, it's more than 10 minutes. Was it 5, 10, 15, about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, let's have a look at that there. 20 minutes with the pineapple juice all over it. Yeah. Food acids, no problems on this particular piece of D2. Nice splatter pattern too on this blade he put on there. Bit hard to see here with the lighting, but that's really tasty.